excited. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. I'm videoing right now.
Wolverines, cryptids, and ice mysteries are just a few of the rare whodunits that I cannot wait to gush about with all of y'all today. One of the least explored places on Earth lies just off the coast of Antarctica. So about 1.5 million square kilometers, or 580,000 square miles of ocean there. It's a vast area the size of Alaska, and it sits in perpetual darkness. It hides beneath 650 to 2,000 feet of floating ice, making it virtually inaccessible to humans. But in January, a couple years back, a team of researchers made a rare attempt to explore it. They camped on the floating Thwaites ice shelf, and there they melted a narrow hole about 2,000 feet through the ice. Then they lowered a long, skinny, remote-controlled submarine called Icefin to probe the dark waters below, and they got quite the startling discovery. So as one Brittany Schmidt watched, the sub's camera displayed glistening stars. They dangled like Christmas tree ornaments, I know, festive, from the icy ceiling above, and dozens of these sparkling stars waved. Now Schmidt at the time was sitting in a tent atop the ice. She was staring at a computer screen and she watched live video being relayed up from the sub as it skimmed just below the ice. The ceiling's smooth surface gleamed like a mirror in Icefin's floodlights. They saw animals dangling from that ice. But as the sub approached, the critters withdrew, one by one, into small little holes. So these are anemones. These are tentacled creatures that normally live on the seafloor. Like flowers, they sprout from rocks or sit rooted in the sand. But not here. These things had burrowed into the ice, forming what looked like an upside-down aquatic garden. Shrimp-like crustaceans flitted around them like bumblebees in a meadow. A fish rested upside down on the ice ceiling, like a cat, just hanging out, waiting, watching. Schmidt was amazed. She's a glaciologist, so she's devoted a lot of her career to exploring under the ice, and what she witnessed here looked otherworldly. She compared it to Alice in Wonderland, which I get it. This dark, frigid place might seem extreme to us, but everything here had adapted to make it home. And with 99.99% of the ocean beneath Antarctica's floating ice shelves still unexplored, plenty of other weird, undiscovered life may share these waters. Other experts say it's not just possible, it's a certainty. Craig Smith is a seafloor ecologist and an expert. He spent like 20 years exploring waters around Antarctica, and he's explained that these strange creatures show us that life can thrive in some bizarre places on Earth. It also hints at what kinds of life might exist in places much farther out there, such as the outer reaches of the solar system. In November of 2009, Greg Warner and his team reported on and supplied photographs of this giant snake event near the jungle city of Iquitos in Peru. So the photographs showed a trail at least 5 meters wide, and they also provided video accounts to support their videos and eyewitness accounts. So this snake is believed to be a yakumama, which is an enormous serpent believed to be the mother of all aquatic animals. According to legend, the yakumama would suck up any living thing that passed within 100 steps of it. So to protect themselves, local indigenous folks would blow on a conch horn before entering the water, believing that the yakumama would reveal itself if it was present, and it would save their lives. So we do have a video. It's in Spanish, but I did find a translation of it. So it was in a human settlement, and folks got into a panic when they saw that located at the back of an enormous swamp was a huge silhouette of dragged grass and mud, and they believe, yeah, it's a giant snake that guarded a small pond. One eyewitness claimed it started to move like this, circulate until it found a way out over there. And then they were like, you can't really say there was like a way to get out over there because everything was plain, but it made its own trail. It looked like it wanted to get out that way, but then it turned over there, and then it took this way, and it looked all this. If you keep looking that way, you can see it remain like this. So like the snake was trying to get out, it was trying to figure out a way, but before it was like that. Like this snake went all over the place. Honestly, I think this is further evidence that the black boa, the yakumama, the sakamama, the minnow cow, and possibly the titanoboa are all one and the same in terms of cryptid classification. So there was an interesting video that emerged from Mexico that showed what appeared to be a small bipedal humanoid scurrying across the road. So this video was captured earlier this year, January 2024, by a security camera at a farm in the city of Monterey, and it hit the internet back in May. So we see a small dark form exit from a wooded area on the side of the road, and then quickly made its way across the dirt path, then vanished into a brush sort of thing. A lot of folks believe it to be the sightings of the duende, which is a humanoid figure of folklore that is comparable to goblins, dwarves, gnomes, leprechauns. What do you think, folks? Fun fact, in Spanish, duende originated as a contraction of the phrase dueño de casa, effectively master of the house. Or maybe it's derived from some similar mythical being of the Visigoth or Swabian culture, given its comparable looks with the tomte of the Swedish language, which is conceptualized as a mischievous spirit inhabiting a dwelling. Finnish folklore is rich in a lot of tales and legends about various types of duendes. We're going to try and pronounce a couple of them. If I mess this up, I tried. I looked it up. There's the Nomos, the Haras, the Elfos, the Enanos, Trentis, the Dianos. Okay, I think I did okay. In some regions of Spain, duendes have other names. There's the Trasnos in Galicia, Folets in Catalonia, Trasgas in Asturias, Minutos or Mendos in Valle de Hecho, and I just think it's kinda neat. What do you think, folks? Let me know in the comments. A mystery beast roaming a Montana campsite sparked the curiosity of thousands of Reddit users. So this is an area, a little corner of Reddit if you will, that helps people identify things that are spotted in the wild. And one user, Gertoria, shared 3 pictures of a very rare mammal. He captioned it with saying, "This guy walked right up to our cooking spot while camping. What could it be?" The photos show a black, fuzzy animal with a bear-like face and a long, fluffy tail running to the campsite. And in one frame, the animal was looking directly at the camera as if it was posing. Well, folks were very quick to identify the animal as a wolverine, which was actually listed as an endangered species last year thanks to climate change. So, amongst the 1,600 comments or more, somebody was like, "Holy, that's a wolverine. They're incredible and not being seen by people. Truly once at a lifetime. Congrats." Somebody else said, "That's a Hugh Jackman." Did you get the reference? Because he's the superhero in the MCU? So following all the interest in the post, the hiker later explained that he had seen this little cute creature while on a trip with his wife to Cracker Lake in Glacier National Park back in September of 2017. In describing the encounter, he said either the first or the second night, the wind was absolutely crazy around the canyon, the air was thick with smoke, and the couple was quietly cooking their food in the designated food prep area when the wife turned and was like, "Oh, there's a cute little guy about 10 feet away." It reared up a little bit on its hind legs when the poster, stood up, surprised, and then scampered away when he was fumbling for the camera. Now, we did get an expert's opinion on it. A Regina Domingo, a conservationist and wildlife expert, confirmed that it is a wolverine, and they're also known as carcajous. They might look like tiny little bears. Technically, they're members of the weasel family, which I didn't know before today. They weigh like 40 pounds, and they're not timid, by the way. They have fought with wolves over food, but typically they don't pose any harm to humans. But they're really cute. There was a moderator that did add some additional info on the post, saying like, they're not aggressive towards humans. Attacks are so incredibly rare that there's never been one single verified case of a wolverine attacking a human. Mother wolverines will run from humans. Not a big on the attacking thing. Turns out there are less than 300 wolverines in the entire United States. The global population is unknown. These little guys tend to prefer colder temperatures because of their big fuzzy coats. So you normally find them in like Washington, Alaska, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and Oregon. And also up in Canada, which makes sense why wolverine Canadian. They like their mountain regions. They used to hang out in California and Utah, but trapping in the 1920s kind of put an end to that. On April 2nd of 2024, TikTok influencer Nightmare Fuel uploaded a strange 1-minute video that they received from a fan. So they said that there was this camera set up facing the river in Namor Ong after a lot of folks said they saw spirits in the river, and the camera captured something. So I'm pretty sure they were referring to Lake Namor in Papua New Guinea, and it's unclear what exactly the creatures in the lake are, but they do appear to have like large eyes that upon surfacing reflect the light. They swim about, submerge, emerge, occasionally look at the camera. They seem fairly harmless, but they're weird and kooky. And that's all for today, folks. I've been Alexa. See ya!